Hey, a good Monday, and thanks for joining us. I'm Daniel Sparkman. Janie Wallace is off. Well, guys, it's finally here. Game week has arrived. The first game for Alabama's Crimson Tide is now just 5 days away. Bama fans ready to cheer on the national champions, the reigning national champions, 2 times as they go after number 16 and 3 in a row. It's our top story today at 5 o'clock. This Saturday, Bama will face off against Virginia Tech. They'll play in Atlanta at the Chick-fil-A kickoff game. Alabama rolls into the game ranked number 1 in the nation. Today, head coach Nick Saban held his first game week press conference, and here's what he had to say. Now, kickoff is set for 4:30, and the game will be televised on ESPN. Now, football season is almost upon us, and your home team's got you covered. We'll be carrying Nick Saban's weekly press conferences live every Monday at noon right here on WVUA. And if you can't watch it live, you can find it on our website just a little bit after it airs, and that'll be at WVUATV.com. Now, this Saturday is also when Crimson Tide kickoff returns to the airways at a new time, noon. The first show will be live from Atlanta this year. WVUA Sports Director Gary Harris will have complete game day coverage, a breakdown of the weekend's SEC matchups, and feature stories on the Tide. Also some special guests, and you'll find it only on WVUA. Now to our election watch. Voters head to the polls tomorrow for the Tuscaloosa City municipal elections. Residents will choose who they want to represent them on the City Council and City School Board. Tuscaloosa City Clerk Tracy Croom told WVUA she does not anticipate much wait time at the polls. Croom says they plan to head for a big turnout in the school board elections. Now, here are the races for you for City Council District 1. It's Bobby Howard, Greg Stallworth, Panga Wilson, and Burrell Odom. In District 2, Harrison Taylor. In District 3, Cynthia Almond. District 4, Matt Calderon. And District 5, Kip Tyner, all who are running unopposed. District 6 is Bob Lundell and Eddie Pugh and Patricia McColo. And here's a look who is running in District 7. That's William Tinker, Albert Stinson, and Sonia McKinstry. And now to the City School Board. Board Chair Denise Hills and Lee Garrison. Then District 1, James Minyard and Ernestine Young. And in District 2, Ernestine Tucker. District 3, Norman Crow. District 4, Kelly Horowitz and Kason Kirby. And then for District 5, Harry Lee and Joe Gattosi. For District 6, it's Marvin Lucas and John Lawler. And in District 7, Erskine Simmons and Renwick Jones. Now, be sure to stay with WVUA News for special coverage of tomorrow's election. We'll have the results right on your screen starting at 7 o'clock, and extensive coverage in our special election edition of WVUA News at 10, including interviews with the winners. Now to news from around Alabama. Authorities and animal rights advocates announced one of the largest dogfighting raids in U.S. history. 12 people across 4 states have been arrested, including right here in Alabama. U.S. Attorney George Beck announced today they seized 367 pit bulls and more than $500,000 in cash in Alabama, Georgia, and Mississippi. The suspects are from Alabama, Georgia, Mississippi, and Texas. Beck said they are charged with conducting an illegal gambling business and multiple dogfighting charges, including promoting dogfights. The ASPCA says the dogs are finally getting love and attention from people who care for them. Now, coming up on WVUA News at 6, we'll hear from federal officials about the raid. And turning to news in Macon County, a new judge is taking over the case of the Victory Land Casino and Shorter. The Alabama Supreme Court ordered Circuit Judge Tom Young to step aside from the case because of remarks he made about the state's attempts to enforce Alabama's gambling laws against Victory Land. Young has appointed Circuit Judge Ray Martin to replace him. You may recall back in February, more than 1,600 gaming machines and more than $223,000 in cash were seized during a raid. Victory Land has been closed since then. And the head of the retirement systems of Alabama is pushing for Governor Robert Bentley to accept President Obama's Medicaid expansion. David Bronner says the reason Bentley is against Medicaid expansion is because he is running for re-election in a state where the president remains unpopular. Bronner said it makes little sense for Alabama not to accept billions of federal dollars for health care in the state, even if it means putting some state money up to get it. But the governor has said he doesn't think the president's law is a workable solution. Now to an update on Syria. The government is accusing rebels of firing at a UN team investigating the alleged use of chemical weapons. A UN spokesman says their vehicle was deliberately shot at multiple times, but the rebels say a pro-government militia was behind the attack. The UN team has been meeting with doctors and victims at a makeshift hospital. Today's shootings comes as more people are calling for an international military response if it's confirmed the Syrian president's troops used those chemical weapons. In Washington, D.C., thousands of people rallied together to mark the 50th anniversary of the historic March on Washington. It was back on August 28, 1963, that Martin Luther King Jr. delivered his famous I Have a Dream speech at the Lincoln Memorial. The march became a key moment in the struggle for civil rights in the U.S. Civil rights leaders and political heavyweights addressed the crowds, including Dr. King's son. Now, President Obama plans to speak at another rally on Wednesday, the exact anniversary of the march. Tuscaloosa city leaders are reaching out to help local minority business owners. The Minority Business Council is holding a public forum this Wednesday. It'll take place at the Tuscaloosa County Board of Education Community Room at the former federal building in downtown Tuscaloosa. Organizers say the forum will focus on how minority businesses can take advantage of city contracts to help rebuild Tuscaloosa. The forum starts at 8 a.m. and is free to everyone. To make a reservation, just call 205-391-0556. Now, still to come on the news at 5, protecting your family from ticks, what you need to know to stay safe. And it's finally game week for the Crimson Tide. Gary Harris will have all the latest in Alabama's home team sports. And now a live look from the WVUA Tower Cam located at the University of Alabama. A beautiful sunny day across the city of Tuscaloosa, but can we keep it that way for the entire week? We'll check in with Chief Meteorologist Richard Scott, who will have your updated home team forecast. You're watching WVUA News at 5, Alabama's home team.